There's a lot of people who want a lot of money. You're most likely one of them. But I'm gonna share why most people are not destined for a lot of money and how you might be one of them as well. I'm gonna go break this down, so stay with me. You might already be feeling triggered and frustrated. But I wanna share with you, I think every human on the planet typically wants a lot of money, especially in these first world countries. You might be one of them. You think, I would like to make $1 million. I would like to make an extra $20,000. Wherever you're at, you're probably desiring more money. We've learned, especially in this country, that money brings happiness. That if we have more money, all of our problems will be solved. But something that I've been learning, and I'm one of them. Back when I was broke as a joke, I was rubbing pennies together, single mom, barely could buy groceries, going through a really hard time. I desired a lot of money. I wanted to make sure my kids had opportunities I never had. I wanted to live the dream. I wanted to go on the vacations I wanted to go on. I wanted to feel important, and there's something about feeling like if you have money, then maybe you're important. Or maybe you got it made, or maybe you did something right, or maybe you're doing right by your family. But I want to step back for a minute, and something over the years that I've learned, and yes, I've hustled, and yes, I've made money, and yes, I've gotten myself out of that financial situation, and some people would even call me quite abundant. But on my journey to growing my businesses and getting more money, I also was finding myself in the jungles and different tribes sitting with indigenous elders who, frankly, would live in sometimes a hut made out of mud or sleep on the ground under the stars. And I have to tell you, I've always been fascinated by this different polarity of some of my closest friends with extreme amounts of wealth and really high anxiety and really just disconnected in their relationships, disconnected in their health, disconnected with themselves and with the higher power, and then sitting with some of the what we would call the poorest people in the world and just extreme happiness, extreme connection, extreme joy. And I want to ask you something. Have you ever gone hungry? Have you ever really truly had to go days without food? Or been in a situation where you were actually cold for days because you didn't have warmth? Most of you listening would say, no. I don't actually know what hunger is. I get hungry between lunch and dinner, but I know I'm going to have dinner. And most of you have a bed, and most of you have a blanket, and most of you actually have a phone or a TV. So what if I flipped it on you and said you're actually in the top 10% of the world of being the richest person in the world? You are actually extremely abundant. And you've just forgotten. And you've lost your way thinking that there must be something more that I must have to be happy or to be important or to go to the next level when you already have it. And maybe abundance gets to be flipped in our time to go, yeah, if I'm destined for what we call the dollar, great. But it doesn't define me or it doesn't define my happiness. And maybe I'm not destined for all those dollars, but I still can be really happy and really connected because that's what I've discovered. It's not about the money. It's not about the money, and you can have it and still be happy, and you can have it and be really unhappy. And the same goes for not having it and having plenty of food and having community and having fire and warmth and being really happy, and also not having it and being really upset. So I just want to encourage you to flip the script on abundance and to actually really take into heart, I'm already so abundant. I'm already so abundant. I don't long for food. I don't long for warmth. I don't long for the connection. I have a phone. I have plants, I have nature, and really get back into the root of who you truly are and what you're here to do, and really get connected with a higher power, with yourself, with self-love, because that's going to be the richest treasure of your life.